Hello, welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Devecioglu, your host. I'm happy to have you today at the American Business Podcast, episode 58. We are getting close to 60 episodes. I'm sure we will pass 60 episodes next week. Well, today's quote of the day is talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships by Michael Jordan. On weekly basis, we bring you quote of the day powered by our partner missionstatements.com. Well, we have a lot to cover today, but before we get started, I have great news. Well, as you know, we just passed 100,000 YouTube subscribers on our YouTube channel, the American Business Podcast. And today I had the pleasure of receiving the YouTube Silver Award in the mail, and I just want to show this to you and share this great news with you. I'm really happy to have this award in my hand. I'd like to thank you for your support. Thank you for your subscriptions, your feedback. I also appreciate our guests who share their professional wisdom and insights with us, with all of us. And I also appreciate our team. Of course, it's a teamwork, all these great episodes and content that we put together. So I truly appreciate our team as well, who put these together, who make this happen. So this is a great milestone for the American Business Podcast and the team. I'm sure we're going to get many more 100,000 subscribers on YouTube with your help and support. And we'll keep bringing you educational, informative business content on weekly basis. And I'd like to thank you again for your support. And we are very happy to have this award today in the mail. Thank you very much. Well, what else is happening? We have a great guest today, and I'd like to get the conversation started by welcoming our guest to our podcast, the American Business Podcast. Let's get this started. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the podcast.
Kevin, hello, and hello, everyone. And congrats again on your achievement. That's amazing. Very happy for you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So, how is your week going so far?
Amazing. Yeah, it's been an exciting week over here. So we've accomplished a lot this week, and yeah, looking forward to doing some more work this weekend, but also taking some time to relax.
Yes. Any special plan for the weekend?
Well, it's the perfect day to go off-roading here in Arizona. So I think after this, my partner and I are going to take the ATV out on the trails and have some fun.
Yes. That's really exciting.
Always a good time.
Yes, absolutely. So if that's okay, we can get the conversation started.
Yeah, of course. Love that.
Thank you so much. For our audience and for our listeners to know about you and your organization, would you please introduce yourself and your company, please?
Yeah, of course. My name is Mike Golub. I am the CFO and VP of Sales at Miss Excel. We teach individuals and employees at organizations all around the world how to save time with work and become more confident and efficient with Microsoft Office, AI, and Google products.
Thank you very much. And I'm excited about our partnership too with Miss Excel. So starting next week forward, we'll start promoting Miss Excel with this special discount code for those who are interested in learning about Excel, other business software systems in an educational and fun way. So this is really exciting for us as well.
Thank you. Yeah, us too. Very excited.
Thank you for your support. Let's talk about your career path a little bit. How did you choose your current career?
Well, that's a broad question. Well, let's say it all started when I graduated college and started off washing cars at Enterprise. I know it's probably not what anyone here was thinking, but in all honesty, that's the truth. I decided that I wanted to start off at Enterprise, and at the time, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but I realized that the more I would talk to people, the bigger the tips I would get and the more money I would make. And I then realized, well, hey, that's kind of the foundation of sales. And sales is what propelled me from car washing up into management. And over the course of about a year and a half, I was promoted 3 times. I was leading sales teams. And then I started to become a top sales performer. But it all stemmed again from washing cars and learning the art of communication. After that point, I moved up into corporate, and then I was starting to manage fleets of vehicles for companies. And I, again, started to thrive on sales, and I just became addicted to sales, and I became addicted to controlling my own success. And I ended up becoming #1 ranked sales rep in North America. And I was managing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of vehicles and buying and selling cars all day long, which I love cars. I love anything with an engine. So that was exciting for me.
Mhm.
Shortly after that, I left there. I went on to build an online business with a friend of mine, and then left that about a year later. And Kat, Miss Excel, as many people know her, the business started to blow up. And Kat and I have been together for 9 years, by the way. So we're together for life, for business, for all types of things. And she was like, well, instead of selling for other companies and leading sales teams in other roles, why don't you build out our B2B division? Because that was my whole background, sales and finance. So
Mhm.
I decided to go all in on that. And here we are today with about 400 corporate clients and making a larger impact than I think we ever have.
Yeah, this is really exciting. And you just mentioned about cars earlier today. We had another episode, and we had Tommy with us from Maserati Automotive Club Northeast chapter president. So we talk
Wow.
about Maserati, and we had some car pictures, Maserati pictures, and we talk about this. That was also pretty exciting. I didn't know I also actually shared it today. The number of Maserati cars that's actually being built is less than $80,000 a year. Global $80,000 pieces of cars a year. So
Really?
they limit the supply. Yeah, that's what I figure. So that's,
Wow.
that's that's very interesting. So that was our one of our number of the days that we talk about today.
Wow,
Interesting.
that's pretty incredible. Yeah, I know a lot of manufacturers have shifted to that because it just increases the exclusivity of the vehicle, right? So they could
Yes.
charge more at the end of the day. So yeah,
Yeah,
popular.
it's I think supply and demand. So at the end of today, if you can create some sort of scarcity, it is in favor of the sales teams if you concur.
Right? Everything is sales. It all comes back to sales. It's the only thing that separates a hobby from a business.
That's true. That's true. Well, can you tell us about your day-to-day work? What are the exciting and challenging parts of your work on daily basis?
Yeah, of course. So at this point, we do have a team of 15 people, and they're amazing. They've taken a lot off of my plate. So at this point, I'm really focused on optimizing the business. As the CFO of the company, obviously, I'm overlooking all the financial aspects of the business. Oops, there goes my phone. Knocked it right off the desk.
Sorry.
So I'm overlooking all the financial aspects of the business. So first thing I do every day is make sure that I look on a daily basis where we're at with revenue projections and expenses and all of that fun and exciting stuff for not everyone. After that, I dive into the sales part of the business. And that's where I'm working with our sales team, also our marketing team, to deliver the right sales copy for our ads, for our all of our marketing materials, and also to make sure that we're setting the sales team up for success with making sure they have the right tools in place to connect with prospects and talk through deals that are in motion. So I would say the business, my day to day is divided between
Mhm.
sales and finance, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that's great. Um, uh, I'm really curious, actually, if you can dive deeper a little bit about your company in terms of the products, the teaching products, right? The online teaching. What
Sure.
makes it different from other online teaching platforms?
Sure.
And are there any best practices that you can share with our audience in terms of uh, continuous improvement and professional learning?
Yes, of course. So, in terms of Miss Excel, one thing that really put us on the map was just that our courses are fun. They're delivered in a really exciting and engaging way. And I always relate it to it's almost like no one wants to read another boring book, right? I mean, how many Excel courses are out there that you kind of have to hold your eyes open just to get through them? Just let's be honest. And I think that what really propelled our growth was our ability to create it in a way that's not only fun but also unforgettable. We tie everything in the course into an emotion. And the easiest way to explain this is there's a famous memory and learning expert that has said information plus emotion equals memory. And that's why people can easily remember their wedding song or the name of the hospital that their child was born
Hmm.
at. is because there's an emotional tie to that information. It's not just data. Otherwise, they would forget it because no one can even remember what they had for breakfast last Tuesday, right? That was just information. So we've put a creative twist on our training, and that's why so many companies have adapted it, because they found that not only is it educational, but their employees actually enjoy doing it. And that's what makes the information stick. So over time, it becomes easier and easier to retain this information. And it's almost like remembering the lyrics to your favorite song. You can just recall it at any time. So that's been the secret sauce, if you will.
Yeah, that's a great insight. Great insight. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing with us.
Of course.
I like to learn about your take on AI. What do you think about AI, the impact of AI on business, as well as our life in general?
I love it. Personally, I use it very much from all aspects. I use it for health purposes and fitness to finance to just evaluating strategies. And I think there is a fine line with it, though. I think it's something that's incredible and in my opinion, should be adopted because it's not going away. It's here to stay and it's here to grow and evolve. So let's adopt it and make the most of it. But also, I think that it's important to not fully trust it. I think it's important to remember that it can, in technical language, hallucinate. And I've ran through in different investment analysis with it, and it wasn't quite right. It wasn't quite on the mark, and it's important that we double check it, because even though it thinks it's right, and sometimes I even think it's right, but then when I go back, I realize that it is missing something. So I do think it's something to embrace, and I also think it's something to be a bit cautious about as you're embracing it.
What do you think about AI replacing humans and jobs? Will AI replace humans and jobs in the future?
I think it will replace some. And I think it's going to, and it already has. It's not even I think, it already has replaced some. But I also think that people who learn to embrace AI and interweave it with their job and their current day-to-day role, I think they'll really excel and they'll really do incredible things, and they'll learn how to use it to their advantage. On the flip side, there's also the people that are avoiding it. And I don't know how long you can wait and run and hide from it until it finds you. And by that, I mean, it may replace some people's roles. And I don't like to say that, but I think it's important to embrace it, because the people who use AI are going to take it to a whole new level. And the people who don't, I don't know how long they can hide from it.
Do you think we should regulate AI?
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that there needs to be regulations for AI?
Oh, yes. Oh, regulations? Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's beyond powerful. It's beyond powerful than anything I know and any human that I know. It's incredibly capable. So I would say regulations are definitely necessary.
Yes. Well, I like to shift our conversation towards role models a little bit.
Sure.
Do you have any role models? Have you had any role models that you can share with us?
Yes, of course. My father has been a role model for me in many pivotal ways.
Yeah, that's definitely good to know. Yes, absolutely. How about some key career lessons that you can share with our audience? Things that you learn, because you have years of experience, especially in sales as well as finance. Any career lessons that you picked up during your career journey that you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say the first career lesson that I've learned, just if we were looking at this from a holistic, front to back point of view, I would say if you can get around people who are not only expanders, meaning people who can show you what's possible, but also get around people who are the best in their industry or the best at whatever they do, because there's a certain standard that they uphold. And by standard, I really mean habits. There are certain habits that they need to consistently do to be at that level. And if you could understand what it takes from a dedication and habit perspective and adopt some of what's working for them, you'll excel in regardless of what field you're in. I believe there's lessons to learn from everybody, but especially those who are at the top of their game in their field. And And then also another thing that has always stuck with me throughout business, throughout life and everything was just doing the right thing is always the right thing. And I know it sounds so simple and cliche, but your reputation is everything. And if you're doing the right thing by people consistently, that will always come back around. And not that that's necessarily the goal is to have it to come back around, but people will always talk great things about you, and that will carry you and precede you in any room that you walk into. So those are two, I guess you could say, mantras that I live by and I think about every day, multiple times a day.
Do you have any interest outside of work or hobbies,
Yes.
perhaps?
Yes. It's not just Excel and business and sales, I promise. Yes. I love, there's a lot of things that I do love outside of work. And I think that's why I've started to optimize my day to be able to enjoy some of those things more often. And, some of that is honestly just in exploring the outdoors. Like I started off with this conversation is, I love taking the ATV around and exploring new places. We live in a place in Sedona, Arizona, where there's hundreds of ATV trails. So it's always fun to explore. But I also love fitness. I have an incredible passion for just being in the gym every day. Makes me feel great, boosts my energy. And I think there's no better way to start your day. I also, this is my nerdy side, but I just love constantly educating myself. I'm really big into finance. I've been studying with some incredible hedge fund managers over the years alongside them and being in different finance masterminds. So I enjoy chart reading for different stocks and different funds and breaking down businesses and understanding the valuations. To me, that's a hobby. I know for some people that could be like a snoozing activity, but for me, I
Yes.
actually thoroughly enjoy that. So, and last but not least, this might go without saying, but I love food. I love exploring new restaurants, trying new things on the menu. I love checking out all different types of food.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, so we have one of the questions that I actually recently added into our question pool is this actually originally came from our audience, so I find it to be very interesting, and we always listen to our audience with their feedback. So, if personally or historically, if you have a chance to go back history, where would you go? What timeline would you go, and why?
What a phenomenal question. If I could choose any point in time, wow, I would say I would really like to see what life was like back in the 18th century, 19th century. I find that time fascinating. As a matter of fact, Kat and I love to watch different movies about that time. There's one that we just watched the other day, and trying to remember the name of it, but it was all about the building of New York from the industrial era, and when they were constructing the railroad and the bridges, and really starting to see New York get its footing. And that's where I'm from originally. So, and she is too. So we love listening and hearing and learning about all of that. I think it's important to remember, some of the things that really founded the industries that thrive today.
Yeah, that's actually very exciting, and that you're also actually really intriguing for me as well. It's because it's in the beginning of the industrial revolution. So
Yep.
the steel coming in, the lives are changing. So the people from agrarian lifestyle, from farms and outside of cities, and they are coming into the cities. The lives are changing. The cities are changing. They keep building because people are moving in, but not much of housing. Still not much of housing, but it's a different conversation. Anyways,
Yes.
but then back in the time, there is that shift in the society, and the economy is changing. Absolutely, that's amazing. That's something that also that I actually studied in school back in the time, that we
Really?
actually studied the industrial revolution and the impact of industrial revolution on society and economy. So it's funny that you mentioned that, and it's something that I'm always curious about it too. But they were also tough times too, by the way. I mean,
Sure.
because there wasn't that many labor laws to protect the employees or the workforce, but then at the same time everything was trying to catching up in terms of the regulations. But the economic boom was there, of course. really exciting era. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too that, nowadays, as much as I love technology and I love how the world's evolved since, I think it is important for people to reconnect with the simplicity of life before phones, before computers, before all that. And this is coming from someone like many of our listeners here today. They probably spend a lot of time on their phone and computer, but I think it's important to reconnect with just being outside without any of that technology sometimes,
Mhm.
and being with friends without picking up your phone, and thinking back to what really matters: family, health, and happiness at the end of the day. So I just find that era fascinating because they didn't really have any other choice. There was no Instagram, there was no YouTube, there was nothing. It was
That is true.
just enjoying what is.
Yes, yes. It makes me wonder too sometimes. Like they didn't have what we have right now, so what were they doing, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's fascinating. Um, well, you have decades of experience. Plus, at Ms. Excel, you have a lot of responsibilities too. Um, how do you stay motivated and inspired?
Sure. Well, I would say that not every day is the most motivating day. And I've kind of hardwired my mind to remember that it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. So I'm tired, great, go to the gym, do it anyway. You don't feel like doing this project, great, get it done anyway. And there are many days where I am motivated and I love what I do, but I'm also a human. And there's also days that come about that I'm not excited to do one or the other thing. And I think it's just important to create habits versus create, I guess you could say, create motivation. It's more so important to stick to your habits and stay consistent. And that's really what's gotten me any and everywhere in life. It's just consistency. So I'd be lying if I told you I was motivated to do what I do every single day. I'm not. But most days I am. And the days that I'm not, I remember who I am. And that's what gets me through. Of
Yeah, thanks for sharing these.
course.
Um, well, we have a mix of audience. We have young professionals who are starting their career journey. We also have senior professionals who come to a certain level in their career successfully. In general, would you like to share some career advice, especially for the next generation who are just getting into the job market and starting their career? What will be your career advice for them?
Of course. Yeah. I think nowadays it's more important than ever to master a skill. And I don't care if you want to become the best garbage man, if you want to become the best teacher, doctor, lawyer, salesperson, whatever it may be, just master a skill. And I think where a lot of people not necessarily get lost, but where they sometimes need help finding themselves is when they master their tasks, their day-to-day tasks. And there's a big difference between mastering your skill and your tasks, right? So if you master a skill, your opportunities are endless, your options are wide open, and you've proven yourself in many different ways at that point. And that's the path that I took. And I could say that, when you master a skill and you go all in on yourself, not only is it something that's super rewarding, but it also builds your confidence, and it builds your I would say it builds your guts. You know that you can weather any storm, and you can rely on yourself. And if I needed to sell pencils, cars, pens, anything today, I'm confident that I could do that, and that's only because I've mastered that skill. So that's definitely one thing that I'd be teaching my kids one day, or nephews and nieces.
Yeah, thank you for these insights. For those who likes to be in touch with you, who likes to continue this conversation, as well as learn about Ms. Excel, what are the best ways to be in touch with you? Any contact information you like to mention?
Yes, absolutely. So you can reach me on Instagram at Mike Golub _ at the end, and then also on LinkedIn, Mike Golub there. So a couple of different ways to reach me, and please never hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to connect and chat, and I always love to learn what people are doing and how they're approaching their careers and lives as well. So thank you very much. It was really really
Thank
amazing to
you.
chat and
Yes,
speak and hear all the insights that you're sharing on your end as well.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you for being with us in your busy schedule, and also thank you for the partnership they will start promoting with Excel starting next week. It's going to be a great partnership, and I believe that it's a great service as well in terms of helping professionals learn about software, Excel, and other business software systems in a fun and educational way. As you said, information plus emotion. Did I pick it up?
That's right.
So
That's right. Equals
yes,
memory.
so equals learning. Yes, so that I love it. So we'll be happy to promote Ms. Excel as well. So thank you for this partnership, and I wish you a great weekend.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, likewise, right back at you.
Thank
Take
you very
care.
much. You too. Thank you. Bye now. Thanks.
Bye.
Well, to our audience and to our listeners, we had another informative session. I hope you enjoyed it. I liked it very much. We learned about different things today from another expert, another professional, and more professional business wisdom that we had a chance to learn in today's episode. So thank you so much for being with us. We passed 100,000 YouTube subscribers, so we are very happy. If you haven't done so, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We have the QR code right here. You can scan this QR code; it'll take you directly to our YouTube channel, and you can subscribe, like, and share your thoughts with our community. Right now, we have more than 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we are not just a podcast anymore. We are an award-winning YouTube podcast right now. So it makes us completely legitimate now. We have an award from YouTube and we are growing. That's official. That's legitimate. And more is coming. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you for your interest in the American Business Podcast. And there is more coming. We have been planning many more activities with the American Business Podcast. So more is coming in our pipeline. More experts, more professionals, more content, and more activities. And I'll talk more about it in a minute. We have more activities coming in. Would you like to be a guest in our business podcast? Would you like to sponsor? Would you like to advertise your products and services? You can send us an email, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. If you have a feedback, would you like us to cover some other subjects that will be helpful for you and for our audience? Please share your feedback with us, americanbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. And we have new sponsors, as we had the conversation earlier. We are getting more and more sponsors, which we truly appreciate, and more advertising opportunities are also coming in to the American Business Podcast. If you visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, you can also learn more about our business podcast, and you'll also see the coming podcast schedule. We update our website every Monday morning, the latest, and you can see every week what type of subjects we will be covering and who will be our guest to talk about different education and business subjects. Please visit our website when you have a chance. Okay, what else is happening? As I mentioned earlier, we have other activities going on. Starting this month forward, we have a networking event, business networking event every month. That is in cooperation with the Connection America Business Alliance and the American Business Podcast. We came together. This is an online business podcast. Only 10 attendees will be, 10 businesses will be attending as a networker in these podcast episodes. So that's exclusive. It will be streamed live on the American Business Podcast. So 10 professionals will be introducing their businesses, products, and services to our business-minded listeners and subscribers on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. During these conversations, you'll have a chance to learn about different companies, products, services. If you're interested in promoting, introducing your business, your products and services, please join us. It is scheduled for August 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern. It is online and it's virtual, meaning you can connect from anywhere. We'll give you a special code. You'll connect to the podcast live, and you can introduce yourself, your product, your services, and your offering. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can register and you can join us. We only have, I believe, 4 or 5 seats left, and we are almost sold out. So feel free to join us if you are available and register for August 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. The American Business Podcast is now available on YouTube Music. If you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the American Business Podcast YouTube Music channel as well. As you know, we are also available on Spotify, and Amazon Music as well for those who are listening podcasts other than watching, such as YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Some readout for our sponsors. If you are in the market for ERP software implementation, you can consider iTech Consulting Inc. They are one of our sponsors, and their expertise is SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft ERP software implementation. For your business, if you are looking for these implementation, configuration, integration, and training services, you can consider this organization, iTech Consulting. It's a great company, and you can trust them and work with them. I have a QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, it'll take you to their website. And if you're interested, communicate with them, contact them, and please tell them you heard about them on the American Business Podcast. If you're in the market for a VPN software, you may consider IPVANISH VPN. I also use IPVANISH. It's a solid VPN software system. You can scan this QR code, learn about the IPVANISH system, and subscribe if you are interested. Great. Well, looks like that's it for this episode. I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest. I'm looking forward to having you at the coming American Business Podcast episodes. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.